And officially, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Welcome out those who are here. We have a light group. I don't know what's happened to our Friday afternoon attendance. It does tend to pick up as the session goes on. I think we'll see that here. But if you're listening at home to the recording, last time we slapped a trade on right here in the last hour that a lot of people maybe didn't get to. Actually, they probably did because it sort of paused and now it's moving well though. But you should join. It's good stuff. Wrap the week up. Make decisions for the trades you're gonna carry. Make decisions for the trades you're gonna close. What are you looking for next week, etc. So let's make sure to wrap things up the right way. So officially, welcome to Options Income Launchpad Weekly Market Wrap. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, this service is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. This is for educational purposes. Does not constitute any investment advice. Any decisions made are at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. A couple more joined. I knew they would. Good to see you guys. Today's agenda. Let's look at the market analysis. How did it open? How is it finishing? Let's look at that number relative to our market posture. What's going to change? What's going to improve? What's going to regress? Mindset for trades being carried over. Right? Yeah, David's seeing it. David is seeing it. The VIX just sort of keeps on moving down. As I said, it could just keep on meandering, and the market just keeps going a little higher. And we may not get that pullback. Everyone's like, oh, the market's overbought. Look, this is what we talked about as a possibility. So, good afternoon, Lee. Good to see you. We'll revisit the posture. We'll look at mindset for trades over the weekend. What do we carry? What do we possibly pare down? What are we looking for next week? What kind of economic news is potentially on the menu? I would say not much with the government shutdown, but still some. What does this watch list look like? And trading plan progress. We are finishing the final loop of the final section of the second to last loop of the year. So we have section 8, and then next week on Sunday, not even next week, in 2 days on Sunday, we will shift back and we will start the final trading plan loop of the year. This is the most important one. This is the big one. We don't do New Year's resolutions, trading resolutions like, oh, let's resolve to make a better trading plan. We build that plan so that it's ready to go right when the first of the year starts, and we say, let's execute this new plan. That's right. We're not going to just sit around and think, oh, when the new year comes, we'll try to be better traders. We're going to get ready for it. It's going to be magical. Everyone's going to participate. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. S&P. You can see it's just sort of been grinding. We'll go to the intradays, but S&P is up 1%. Dow, 1.2. NASDAQ, 1.36. Russell, 1.3. Is that an 8 or a 6? A 6, about the same. VIX is down back to low 16. Gold dropped only about 1/3%. Stock surge head for records after tame inflation. We said, okay, let's see what that looks like. At or better, and we'll have a good day. That's what we said. That's what we got. Trade talks are halted over the Canadians playing an ad of Ronald Reagan. Interesting. What else? Okay, nothing really there. Nothing really in the news. Let's go into the calendar. So, what did we get? We had point 0.4, expected 0.4, and we got 0.3. That came back better than expected. We had 2.9. We had 3.1. Came back better than expected, but worse than prior. So it was still higher. Core CPI, we wanted 0.3. We had 0.3. We were looking for 0.3. We got 0.2, better than expected. And core CPI year over year, 0.31 or 3.1. We were expecting 3.1. We got 3.0. Everything came in at or better, but it still has us at the 3% level, which is, stalled at an elevated. They want it down and closer to 2.5, not 3. But at the end of the day, the news is, but it's not getting worse. Okay, we can live with that for now. But it's not getting worse. Next week, durable goods minus transportation, both with an asterisk. What does that asterisk mean? Subject to delay if government shutdown continues. So we're likely to see a delay there. Consumer confidence will come. Not looking great. We'd like to see that back up near 100 or even over 100. Schiller Home Price Index. Nobody cares about home prices right now. Real estate is really irrelevant to the market at this time. You can see this data here, the first half, isn't very big anyways. Advanced U.S. trade balance, no one cares. Retail inventories, no one cares. Wholesale inventories. I don't think there's a lot in there, which is fine because we're not likely to get them anyways. Pending home sales, again, it's home sales. We don't care. And then we have what? That's the big one. This one will not be avoided. So Monday, Tuesday, nothing. Tuesday morning, they start having coffee together, talking about it. Wednesday afternoon, 2 o'clock. The decision comes out that rates are going to drop by a quarter point. Then Jer Bear is going to come out at 2:30, have a little conversation about current conditions and what the prognosis for going forward is likely to be. Thursday, we have jobless claims and GDP, neither of which we're expecting to get. We had seen GDP at 3.8. We don't have any expected revisions, and we're not likely to get what the number actually is on track for. We're also unlikely to get jobless claims. Fed Vice Chair for Supervision, Michelle Bowman, will speak, but I don't think anyone's paying much attention since we just had the rate decision and a press conference by the man himself. Friday, lots of asterisks. No employment, no personal income, no spending. This was a big one that we were really looking forward to right here. And it's Halloween, David said, reminding us. All Hallows Eve. PCE 0.3. Year over year 2.7. Core PCE 0.2. Year over year 2.9. I'm going to put it the same as. Now, we're not going to get that one, though, actually. I was going to say, here's what we would be looking for. I don't see any way, even if the shutdown opens, if they're not like, oh, we're going to have to wait an extra week to get that information compiled and released. The reason they did CPI numbers was they needed it for calculations in regard to COLA, cost of living adjustment, increases for Social Security, and so they had to, like, that was an essential government function versus a lot of this data, which is non-essential government functions. So we will not get the PCE. We will get Chicago Business Barometer, but no one's going to pay that much attention. We will get Lori Logan and Hamak and Bostic speaking, but again, having just gone through the Fed, it's unlikely that we're going to pay. Revised COLA 2.5 to 2.8. Yep. A little bump, which is nice for those receiving benefits. Okay, that's it for next week. I do want to just take a quick peek at our Fed watch. And you can see that the expectation of a cut tomorrow, 97%. There's a 3% probability factor that they're like, you know what, we're not going to do it. Of course they're going to do it. We all see that they're going to do it. Looking out to December, you've got an equal probability, actually slightly better probability, of a second or a 50 basis point cut instead of 25, as you do staying where it is, but everybody thinks it'll be down. 3% think it'll stay one cut only right here. 92.5% think it'll be a second cut. 4.5% think it'll be a second cut and that the cut will be 50, not 25. That's ambitious. This is unlikely. I think we're all kind of thinking, yeah, there's where it's likely to end up. Curious what they think about January. January 50-50 that it stays or drops again. So a lot less certainty as you move beyond the next two meetings, one of which is next week. Okay, let's go look at the charts. Woo, NVIDIA. So we talked about NVIDIA, came out, got the trade last week. Then it tried to go, and then it paused, and then it paused with a doji right at support, and then it held. Tested a little lower, but it held. And now it's moving, so you can see I just duplicated my line, moved it over. This is what I'm looking for. Good day today. Not huge volume, but it's likely to at least be better than yesterday's volume. So we still got 35 minutes. Yesterday we had 111. Today we have 101. I think we'll end up at a 120, 125 at least. It's not average volume, but it's better than it was, which means that we do see at least a bump from the bullishness, right? Bump from the buyers coming in. Pretty good. Anyway, that's what I was looking at before we came in. Let me press, given some predictions. I like it. What does he say? 2 quarter points and 1 next year. Due to the strength. Okay. Early? Are you thinking it's going to go right to January? Or do you think January they'll take it off, February they'll hit it? I think, no, they might not be a February. It might be a late January and then a mid-March, actually. Let's go back and look. I'm curious now. Oh, where did you go? Ooh. Could have sworn there we go. Okay, January 28th, March 18th. So yeah, I could see that. I could see them take January off and just let it sit, and then, see if inflation's come down and they can hit it again in March, or maybe they're just going to do it all at once if they're going to do it. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, let's start at the top. Well, actually, no, let's go to the SPY. Let's look at the SPY and the VIX. SPY today, like I said, I'm just saying that I equated what we were seeing here to being very similar to what we were seeing here, right? Where it's like, oh, it looks like it's hitting some resistance, but then just sort of kept on going. Even the same thing through here. And then boom, it just kept on going, right? It's like it seems like it's maybe going sideways, and then all of a sudden we get something. And so even this one here sort of made this last little pop up, pull back, and then a bigger one. But yeah, I think that we were talking and saying, hey, you know what? This thing could just pop on out, keep on moving. And here it goes. It's not going to be a big volume day. I don't think we have any big volume days this week. So as far as, it busting back out, I don't know. Is it enough? Is it enough to get this back to 1.25, or are we still going to be a 1? If anything, it's pushing more towards 1.25. So there's like, all right, there's some strength there. Right? There's some strength there. That's what's going on. Long term. Yeah, let's go through the posture. Long term, it's getting close to that line where I said if it gets up there, I'm going to raise it. I have to hold to what I said, but look at that. That's getting close. In fact, here's what's interesting, you guys. When there was initially AI said, I'm going to give it a 1.5 based on what you said. And I was like, well, except that the blue line and the green line was 1.5, and that's why it's like, oh, okay, I agree. But yeah, it's getting close to that where you're kind of thinking, hey, this feels like, let me activate this. No, I don't want to activate it. I want to duplicate it. Do we think that the current, you can see it kind of catches here, kind of riding along here? That's kind of making the case. Oops, not you. That since this level, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Pretty strong. Whoops. Pretty strong for the weekly. Very bullish for the next month. Yeah, okay. Maybe even get that whole Santa rally 2 months all the way through the end of the year. That would be fabulous. Let's drop this to 6 months. And, it broke, but it seems, I don't know why. Is that supposed to be there? Did I move a trend line? That looks different to me for some reason. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just tripping. But let's just kind of see. It's really only getting back in there for a day. I'm gonna say probably not. If it gets back up into the upper range of this, then I maybe would. But I would say still gonna keep my score the same. Let's go look at volume. So volume, we have a tie and then a tie. So all the volume we're scoring now is over here. And over here we have two sells, one buy, and one tie. We can throw this out as saying, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That last week is kind of getting where it's like stale. It's ties anyways. So now we're saying, look, we're 2, 1, 1. Two sells, one buy, one tie. That is more oriented to the sellers, but barely. So that to me is still a 0. And you can see we started here, we ended here. It actually has gone up a little bit, though the vast majority of the price action is underneath it. I would say probably going to stay the same, stay a 0. If I got a bull day, and this one was the closest, but it was, if anything, more a selling day. If I had gotten a bull day, 221, that would take me to a 0.25. If I got to a 311, that would take me to a minus 0.25. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. The next one who gets an above average volume day is going to pull the score unless it's opposed at a later time. Then it'll just extend the current score. But the current score is fine. It's a 0. It's a 0. Things are still moving up. It's not the best, but it's also fine. Let's go look at the VIX. Oh, yeah. Like David said, it just keeps coming down. I mean, you can see we're at these old lows now. We didn't get down to this one. So, if you're saying, hey, this went up and then it rolled over, but then we're saying it turned again. And did we think that this was a low? I think you could argue that it was. If so, there's no lower high developing. There's no higher low developing. It's come all the way back down. That's quite a bit. Has not come all the way back down to this one. However, it may not need to in your estimation. But yeah, that's kind of bullish looking right there. I don't think it's enough to score it. Getting to the old low. If it broke it, I'd say, oh, we broke the low. Score it. If it turns up, nothing. But if it turns down, that's scoreable. That's a lower high. That's quite a strong signal next week if we get something like that. So for me, VIX score is likely to stay the same. 0.5 makes sense. We'd love to start racing that back up. Okay, let's go look at the whole watch list and see what we think about what's going on. Any questions or comments about anything you see in the posture, any concerns you have in the posture, etc.? Or, right, do you think I'm missing anything? Yeah, just let me know. Let's get over to where we're going. Apple tried. It actually retested some old highs. It's still very close. So we have 25th, 26th. That's Saturday, Sunday, 27, 28, 29, 30. So is that Thursday? I guess it felt like it was closer than that. But Thursday aftermarket, I don't know. There's still not much time for anything to happen there. Archer Daniels, earnings coming up. Had a little bit of a hiccup there. Amazon, no, Archer Daniels. Amazon It still hasn't done enough for me. I think it's sitting right at this level. You've got earnings like right there. I think we just have to watch, see what it does. See what story it tries to tell next. ANET. So if you took this one, let me get out of this chart time frame. It's trying still. It's moving. It kind of wavered and then took off a little. APH just chopping around. Not much there. AVGO turned. AXP still going. Still just won't give us a little consolidation. All we want's a consolidation. That's all. Come on. BAC is actually I was trying to make a point. Breaking out of that little pennant pattern. City, same kind of a deal. Are we breaking this? Is that giving us a signal? Stop. This is pretty big. Let's make this a little smaller. Maybe something like that last move. Before that were some pretty big like earnings influenced moves. Now we're saying, hey, what could this thing look like? Okay. Caterpillar. Oh, I mean, I got to tell you, Caterpillar's like knocking on the door if it weren't for earnings. It's not this pullback, starting to stabilize, starting to turn. But you only have until 10/29. Yeah, okay. Earnings a little too soon. When are they anyways exactly? Tuesday aftermarket, 10/29. Wednesday before. Yeah, you only have Monday and Tuesday. There's really not that can be done in there. CCJ. Okay, that looked good yesterday. We put it on. Getting a nice little bump today, 2.5%. Good. Good. Okay. All right. How much time after earnings do you start watching for a setup? Right after. I'll watch immediately after. I mean, the volatility's bleeding off quickly. Like, I would be like, hey, can something set up coming out of this? Yeah, no problem with it being immediately after. CLS moved, but it's got earnings, so there's not much for you there. COF. I like COF, not as much as I like AXP, but I need them both to pull back before there's anything we can do. Coinbase popping again. Coinbase tried to turn, hiccuped, and is now moving. Doesn't have a lot of time left, but might be a couple people trying for something there. Cisco. Kind of flat. Tried to make a move. Not much there now. Delta just kind of chopping around. DoorDash. We bailed on that one. Right as it failed to hold, right? We were looking for maybe here. That candle was not great. You can see it wavered, and then it's just like, yeah, there's There's nothing for us here. Diamonds strong, but they were 1.15 strong. When we look at the small cap, they were 1.33 strong. So not a ton better, but more flowed into small caps than large caps. Technology was about the same. XLK. Oh, XLK was 1.8. QQQ was 1.15. So the technology sector ETF showed a lot better run in that regard. Okay, where were we? Dash. Diamonds. DocuSign. Okay. Ford. Ooh, look at Ford today, you guys. Ford took off. Big earnings report. Wanted 38, got 45. Very nice. GE just kind of flat. Gold still trying to find its new support or new bottom for if it can reinvigorate a trend. Google made it almost all the way up. It's only got earnings in a couple of days. Not much we can do with it at this point. Yeah, not much. Not much can be done with that now. Goldman. Okay, Goldman. We were talking bad about Goldman. We're like, yeah, it's not looking good. It's kind of weak. Goldman's like, wait a second. Okay, it's going to be above average volume, especially by the time we're done. And if it goes a little higher still, tests 800 and then pulls back and then gives us that. That's the kind of reversal we can sink our teeth into, so to speak. So that looks real nice. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Howmet, strong, still moving a little bit higher. But so close to earnings, not much you can do with that. IBM. Ooh, look at IBM. Gap down and then ran up on earnings, and then opened where it was and ran up again. That's a hell of a swing for 2 days. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. INTC. Interesting. It was in this range, gapped up, still at this range. Not much that can be done with that. Okay. IWM. We looked at plenty strong today, moved. Lumentum, just keeps going. That one was a good looking you know, it had looked pretty okay in this area for an entry. And then it just sort of meandered, hiccup, and then bounced. So, okay. I don't know if anyone ever took that or not. Meta, no. Morgan looks like it's trying, right? It's popped up, pulled back. As I said, though, I find that I'm a little bit concerned that I'm overweighting into financials as a sector. Yeah, okay. So let's keep going. Microsoft. Okay, I mean it gave this. It's sort of meandered higher. It's not wrong. It's not bad. Micron popping out of nowhere. Netflix dropping. Northrop Grumman still sort of deciding. Nvidia looks pretty good. Palantir trying to see if it can make a move. QQQ looking at higher highs, record highs. Roblox still in this sort of cup and handle, holding the 50. If it can turn, oh no, never mind. I was like, nope, not with those earnings there. Never mind. Never you mind. We're just gonna watch it. Wait. No need to get in a worked up. Reddit, no. Earnings coming up. Rocket Lab. Ooh, Rocket Lab is a kind of trying. It's choppy though right now. Silver could be setting up for the next move. Precious metals could have something for us. SoFi, I like AXP and BAC better, but this one has held up. I'm still trying. I think I can. I think I can. Okay, SPY. Let's see. It's higher high. Doesn't have the volume. I thought it was going to get as high as the previous, maybe better, but I may be wrong. On the SPY, we were at 65 million versus an average of 78. Right now, we're at 50 million. Okay, so I'm wrong, and in fact, I actually want to look at that with a little bit of a grain of salt now. That this venture into new higher high levels, right? If you remember, we were like, this could be a double top, but it could also be a ascending triangle. Which is it? Well, we tend to think ascending triangle when it breaks to the upside, double top if it breaks to the downside. Well, it's breaking to the upside from a price standpoint. Is it a breakout? Remember, for a breakout, we need three things. Number one, at or near the high for the day. I don't know. We're a little off the high. In fact, we're a little off the high as we near the end of the day. You can see we're coming off the high right now. Not a lot, but we're coming down about $1 off the high. Number two, do we have above average volume? The answer is no. And it doesn't have to be a lot. For this, it only have to be 5% above average. I'm not looking for some outrageously high amount. I'm not looking for any outrageously high amount of movement. So, okay. Although it's trying to come back. Let's see what else. Tesla dropping today. Let's keep going. TSM. Sorry, I was looking at a trade and I was like, ooh. Nvidia's on. It's looking good. Now we have TSM. I think TSM is setting up in a way with the strength and of chips. I might put a second one on, and this might be the one. Give me your thoughts about, would that be too much correlation in tech/chips right now? Or do you think that the strength that tech is holding on to, led by chips, is enough to say, yeah, I would go with a couple of the strongest chips right now? Give me your thoughts about that. Or maybe you're not in NVIDIA and you're thinking TSM looks good because you're not in NVIDIA. Uber down, not looking great. UUP, bullish dollar, sideways. Stay in tech over the short term. I mean, that's where the best momentum is from growth sectors. It's let us okay so far. That's my thought. Visa, no. VIX looking good. It's off the lows, but still looks good. Walmart still setting up, still viable for early next week. That's an early candidate for next week. Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah. XLB sort of down still. Communication services trying still. Energy rolling over. Financials trying. Industrials giving it a shot. Technology looks great. Staples iffy. Utilities. Ooh, utilities actually. I was thinking about that one today. I was like, we already put 2 alerts out. That was one that I was like, if you took it, if you thought about it, I was right there with you. This might even have a good Heiken Ashi candle when I think about it. I could put my stop maybe $1 below. And I would say that's a move. So that would be from 84.5 to 88. I mean, that's $3.80. And then we had a move from 87 to 96 points. I think 5-6. Yeah, this looks like this thing could make a move on up here to, like, let's say 95. At least 96. I'd even say 96. 5 points on the upside. Yeah, I don't know. I actually feel like I should have rushed on and put that on. We'll see how that looks for first thing Monday morning. First thing Monday morning. Okay. Any questions about anything? In this market, it double dips as defensive and growth. Agreed. XLV looks okay. Let's get out of the Heiken Ashi. God, yes. Now I'm like, maybe we should have gotten there sooner. XLY. Yeah, trying. XLU's got the momentum right now, though. Real quickly, let's think about our trading plans. Last chance, set a goal, maybe 2. That's all you need to do. Set a goal, maybe 2. A goal to improve your trading plan. A goal to improve your record keeping. A goal to improve a specific aspect of your trading plan. I'm going to work on my routines and make them better. I'm going to work on whatever it is. Be thinking about that. Otherwise, yeah, I feel like this week turned out okay. We got some good inflationary data. We're looking good for next week's Fed. Market moved still bullishly. If anything, I think that the market posture is going to stay the same. Maybe even pop up a quarter of a point. I'm gonna go put my prediction. Market posture prediction is, I think, 375 to a 4. Stays, maybe goes higher. We'll see what that'll be what, 1026. And let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of this. Boom. Equals sum of this, of this, boom. Uh, 375, Lee. Think it's going to stay the same? I can get with that. I could definitely get with that. Let's paste that here. Boom. Okay. Okay, we're all set. We're all set for Sunday. Good. Good to see everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Sunday morning, we'll get together, have some coffee, review the market, get ready for the week ahead. I'm still feeling like things look okay. So, yeah, let's see where it brings us. Whew. All right, you guys. Enjoy, as always. Happy trading.